Anyone else need a breather?
Now that Marvel's Spider-Man is finally here, you're going to need some tips, because with great power comes a lot of buttons, and bad men with guns. So if you want to get a web head start on Parker's newest adventure, here are 9 tips you'll need to know. Make combat easier by perfecting countering. One of the first skills you should unlock is Perfect Dodge in a Defender skill tree, which in turn lets you buy the Dodge Window skill as well. Perfect Dodge means Spidey automatically webs the enemy whose attack he's just avoided when you perfectly counter, which is when his Spidey sense turns blue, while Dodge Window on the other hand gives you a slightly longer timing window to perfectly dodge that attack. I can't overstate how important it is to get these 2 abilities as soon as possible, as they are a blessing for crowd control. The last stand skill that follows Dodge Window is also spectacularly useful, as it'll give you a moment of slow-mo to help avoid a potentially lethal blow. Don't get too button mashy when you're fighting. There are a lot of different enemy types, and certain kinds can only be beaten in specific ways, so try not to get caught up in the moment and just hammer punch all the time. Hold square to use air launcher for baton enemies, press square then circle to dodge under shield enemies, and web up heavies before attacking. Using the right moves at the right time is vital to take control of the situation. Always take out the goons with the guns first. When you're fighting in New York streets, you'll want to take out gun-wielding foes as soon as possible, as having to dodge bullets while fighting large groups is bothersome to say the least. While you can just punch them, there are skills to make the job easier. Tapping triangle for a web strike, for example, will propel you to a targeted enemy, which is useful to reach a threat quickly. More useful though are the pistol and baton yank and its higher power cousin, rifle shield and launcher yank skills. Those will let you pull weapons right out of people's hands, while the yank and throw skill lets you then throw them back at people as an attack. Stick a mine on a person to get 2 people stuck together. A little way through Spider-Man's main story, you'll unlock trip mines, which shoot out a little strand of web when triggered and then tie enemies to walls. But walls are not the only thing you can stick them to. Oh no, they stick to enemies too, which means you can take 2 enemies out of the battlefield simultaneously when things get hairy. There's even a trophy for doing it 10 times called Hug It Out. Pay attention to the bonus challenges. Across the world, bases for the various criminal factions will pop up along with the various crimes they're committing on the street. As Spider-Man, it's your responsibility to beat them into submission. However, instead of rushing in and acquainting their faces with your web, spare the time to look at the bonus challenges for each. They could be things like sneakily taking down 3 snipers or perfectly dodging 10 attacks. Not only will you get bonus XP and extra tokens for completing these challenges, but it's a great way of practicing any moves you're having trouble with. Let go at the bottom of a web swing for speed and at the top for height. It doesn't take too long to get the hang of Spider-Man's swinging, but there are a couple of ways to make sure you're getting the most out of it. If you want to go as fast as possible, like when you're chasing a villain and or a car, release R2 when you're at the bottom of the arc, when you're closest to the ground. This way your momentum will be conserved into forward velocity rather than an upward swing, and you'll go a lot faster than you could with web zips alone. Or, if you need to get high quickly, let go at the top of a swing to catapult Spidey into the air.
Taking you home, buddy.
If you can't find a certain type of resource, you probably haven't reached it in the story yet. Everyone gets a little impatient sometimes, and in open world games I think it's fair to say that players are used to almost every resource being available as soon as you start. But in Spider-Man you'll have to continue plugging away at the main story to unlock all of its 6 resources. That's base, landmark, research, crime, backpack and challenge. You'll get through about a quarter of the story before all of them are unlocked, so just stay patient. The electric punch ability is great for crowd control. As the game progresses you'll encounter larger numbers and more varieties of enemy types, which can make dealing with them all the trickier. Unlock the electrically insulated suit though and you'll get the electric punch ability, which is a godsend for crowd control. When your suit power is active, you can click both the sticks to activate electric punches that change shocks between enemies and can stun entire groups in a few blows. Pop it at the right time and you can pretty much shock an entire mob and really turn the tide of a fight. Plan a strategy and use your gadgets before you jump into a fight. As the game progresses, you'll unlock more gadgets to use in a fight, and thinking about how to use them before you throw a punch can make a huge difference. Spidey starts a lot of encounters perched up high, surveying the fight he's about to have. While this usually gives you a few chances to stealth eliminate some enemies, it's also an opportunity to strategize. See a point enemies are going to run through, place a trip mine. Big group together, throw a web bomb to incapacitate them as you attack. Keep looking for opportunities during the fight as well. If you're on a roof, a well-placed concussive blast could knock a bad guy off for an insta-kill, for example. Or, if they're clustered together, an electric web could stun several opponents from a distance. Basically, let the gadgets do as much work as they can and save you the time. And that's just a few tips we have to help you get started in Marvel's Spider-Man. Let us know if you have any more tips in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle for more gaming news, previews, reviews and features right here on Games Radar Plus.